I already brought my monitor stuff in. I think you guys know how to import by now. I'm just going to create a comp like we always do. Here's my footage. I'm just going to go up to animation and go to track. Usually it said in Mocha, but now it says Boris Effects because I guess they bottom Boris Effects bottom now. So there we go. All right, and we have this in our effects panel. We have Mocha AE CC come up, and as you can see, when I go over the logo right here of Mocha, it actually gets darker. So if we double click that, or actually just click it once, I believe, and now we have this new panel that comes up, and it looks pretty different than the version before. I'm not going to go over the pen tools because I believe the other video goes over that, and everything's pretty much the same. These two are different. You can actually create a square pretty easily, and I'm going to use the square just since it's new. And when I create a screen monitor track like this, we're going to put an image obviously inside this monitor here. Normally you'd probably want to track on the inside like this because this is where we want it to go, right? And normally tracking these corner pins would make sense on, say, in Nuke, or actually even if you're doing a corner pin in After Effects or Nuke. But when you do what this is a planar tracker, Mocha actually is doing it based off of texture. And when you do it inside of here, we're not getting a lot of information. So it's actually going to be a little bit harder. So I'm going to go just outside of my monitor, so that basically brings the whole thing in to give us more information to track. And what I like to try to do is keep with the perspective of what I'm tracking. So I want this bottom line of the monitor to match here. I want this vertical line to match, so I'm going to tilt this back a little bit. And I'm going to want this edge of this monitor here to match as well. That way we have a nice same perspective. That's pretty close. And then what I'm going to do is we got our track right here. This is all the different types of tracks we can do. And we want perspective on this one. Let's try it. Let's see what we can do with perspective. When it's red like this, it means we have not done a track yet. And these are our track. This is what's going to set off the track buttons. I went blank for a second, sorry. So this is going to be track forward. If we started in the middle, let's say, this would track back. We can stop it. But we're at the beginning, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit forward. This might take a while, so if all of a sudden the film gets, this video gets edited, I might edit this part out, or I might speed it up. But now it's basically going through frame by frame with this information inside of here, and it's taking all this information into account. And it's tracking it. All right, it is done tracking, and we can see it's all blue and completely finished. So we can check that. I mean, I can grab the playhead and just kind of scroll back, and we can kind of eyeball it and be like, oh, that looks good. But we have other ways to check this. We can actually do show surface. Now this is actually where the image is going to go. So we want to get this as close to where we want it as possible. So now it knows it's going to go in that area. Whoops, wrong thing. It's kind of hard to see on my monitor. There we go. That looks pretty good. It'll probably be screwed up a little bit on the edges. And then we can actually, if we hit play, that looks pretty good. We have other ways we can check it too, make sure the perspective's right. We can bring in show grids. It's a little large, but we can kind of see that it's going in the right perspective. These lines kind of match up with the monitor, and that looks pretty good. And I'm actually going to name, I should have done this earlier, I'm going to name this layer. I'm just going to name it monitor. Okay. Now we can actually go into layers property, and if we want to check, actually I'm going to turn the show grid off, it's kind of distracting. We can actually throw in the logo of Mocha in here, and this can kind of give us a rough guess and to see if it looks good or not. Now to fix it, I believe the same, everything should stay the same from the other one. If you want to delete keyframes, track from the middle, track from the back. I'm going to say this is good, and now I'm going to show you how to export it. Okay, I'm going to stop that. So we want to save this now. I'm just going to save it, and then we can close this. Now we have Mocha in here, and we have some information. This is if we're going to bring in mats, which we'll do soon because we're going to do roto. And then this is where our tracking information lives. We're going to do click here where it says create track data or data. Now this took me forever to figure out because I guess I just didn't see this checkbox right here. I don't know if you guys, I could, maybe my monitor is too dark, but I kept clicking this and going like, why isn't it working? I'm hitting apply and nothing's happening. I kept doing it. And if you hit apply, which I did, it brings it in effect and it has Mocha, has our tracking information. It's like, hit apply. It's like, why isn't it working? Tracking data, there's nothing here. And it was really, really frustrating. So what I figured out you have to do, you hit track data, highlight monitor, and then you gotta click this right here. And then you hit OK. Now when we go to corner pin, we want corner pin. We can do corner pin with motion blur. We can place it on, actually, I'm gonna go to my project bin. I'm gonna go to project. This little thing can switch you around your tabs up here, in case you didn't know that. I'm going to create a new comp, and I'm going to name this, I'll name it screen. I'm putting a poster on it. Then I'm going to bring this poster in here, and we want whatever we're putting in that monitor fill this whole composition. So if you hit Command Option F on a Mac, it'll fill it. I believe it's Alt Option on a Windows and F. I haven't used Windows, so I'm not really sure. I always forget. So now I'm going to go back to my monitor and get rid of this under Q. I'm going to go back to my monitor. I'm going to bring this screen comp in here. And now it's above, so it's blocking everything. Then I'm going to go click on monitor. I'm going to go back to my effects right here. Now on here, we can actually put it on screen. This is where we want the information to go. All right. And then if we hit apply, boom, there it goes. Puts it right into the correct spot. And I'm just going to hit play. Looking good. Now, obviously, if there's anything wrong, you want to make adjustments because with tracking, it needs to be absolutely perfect. Else people will know it's a comp and it'll give it away and people will be like, that's fake. I see it moving. I can see the inside of the monitor is wiggling. So with tracking, it has to be perfect, which is why we want computers to do it because they can do this type of detail a lot better than we can. Doing this frame by frame would take way too long. So hopefully that helps. And if you guys have any more questions, I can make another video if it's something I didn't cover in here. Or if it's not video worthy, I can just maybe send you guys some messages and we can get it figured out. And hopefully this helped. And I can't wait to see you guys' projects. Real quick. So I said it before, I kept saying depth, depth, depth. I want to see some good depth between each planet. So as it comes, the first planet like I was trying to describe, it's coming in. I want to see it in focus. And as it gets closer to the camera, it goes out of focus. And then we see the next one. I just want to see some really good depth to give it a lot of space between each planet. Hopefully it'll look really cool. If all the planets are always in focus, it's just not as exciting. So let's try to get some depth in there. All right, cool. Hope you guys are having fun with this project, and I hope this really helped. And message me if you guys have any more questions.